Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon as we celebrate all of you who make such a difference to our patients and families. My name is Mats Wallen, and I am the VP of Fund Development. While we celebrate all of you, today we want to highlight those of you who are reaching a milestone in your involvement with HEB. First up, we want to honor those of you who have been volunteers for 5 years. Sandra Allison, William Bankston, Jeanette Borsick, Kay Drazen, Mary Jo Engelberner, Julie Freedman, Kathy Girvon, Amy Hames, Vicky Hobbs, Julietta Hudson, Nancy Langley, Lorna Lee, Michelle Lopes, Annika Reza, Cheryl Sakerdoti, Michael Scanlon, Brooke Taylor, Frederick Tuemmler. Thank you, those of you who have been 5-year volunteers for us. We are so grateful. Now, I want to introduce Tammy, our volunteer program manager for our 10-year awardees.
Hello, I'm Tammy Bly, volunteer program manager. I'm so excited to be celebrating every one of our volunteers this afternoon. Thank you for your service. Please join me in giving special recognition and honor to our volunteers who have been donating their time, expertise, and hearts to Hospice East Bay for a decade. They are Angie Bailie and Canine Ace, Patient Support, Pet Pals, and Bereavement. Erin Bydalek, Patient Support, Bruns and Vigil. Donna Chase, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Tip Chase, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Sherrie, Fraser, Patient Support, Bereavement, and Vigil. Sharon Freitas, Alamo and Danville Thrift Shops. Judith French, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Carol Green, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Barbara Lopez, Patient Support. Bev Louie, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Pamela Mullen, Patient Support, Bruns and Vigil. Diane Munier, Alamo Thrift Shop. Dick Perry, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Bill Phelps, Patient Support and Vigil. Martha Plant, Patient Support and Office Support. Diane Portnoff, Patient Support, Bruns Tuck-In, and Vigil. Ann Riddle, Alamo Thrift Shop. Fred Smith, Foundation, Friends of Hospice, Rossmoor. Lisa Valero Butterfield, Patient Support and Vigil. Kay Voorhees, Patient Support, Office Support, and Vigil. Judy Vrankovich, Alamo and Danville Thrift Shops. Marie Waterman and Canine George, Patient Support, Pet Pals, and Vigil. Monica Zorman, Patient Support and Massage Therapy.
Thank you, Tammy. Now, I have the distinct pleasure of getting to honor those of you who have volunteered for us for 15 years. First up is Sue Burrows. Sue is one of those amazing people who volunteers her time to Hospice East Bay in multiple ways. Joining our board of directors in 2007, Sue previously served as board chair and currently chairs both the Human Resources and the Strategic Planning Committees. After completing 3 terms on the board, she became an associate emeritus. Sue rejoined the board in 2017 to fill a vacancy and served as board chair for a second time. If that was not enough, Sue also works as a patient care volunteer, even through the pandemic, by taking flowers to patients and making masks to keep everyone safe. Thank you, Sue, for your devotion to and support of Hospice East Bay. Next is Sharon Iversen. Sharon Iversen joined Hospice East Bay in 2006 as a member of our board of directors for 9 years and also served as the chair of the board. Wanting to keep connected, Sharon became an associate emeritus board member in 2015. Sharon also remains quite active at Hospice East Bay as the member of the ethics committee, visiting patients and sitting vigil, and even recruiting her dog Ruffles to partner with her as a pet pal team. We are grateful for Sharon for sharing all her talents and time with us. Next is John Kopchik Jr. John joined our board in 2007, bringing his expertise in finance. He served on the executive committee as the treasurer and chaired the finance and audit committee. John kept his ties with Hospice East Bay and became an associate emeritus in 2015. Looking to further support Hospice East Bay, John rejoined the board in January of this year and will again serve on the finance and audit committee. We appreciate John's commitment to our mission and the support he has provided over the past 15 years. Next, we have Diane Vavrek. What Diane enjoys doing most at the thrift shop is working in the back room, taking donations, and preparing them for sale. In her own words, quote, "The thoughtful and generous people who bring in donations often relay stories on how Hospice East Bay helped their families. While these people have been through a hard time, they are very grateful, often referring to the hospice workers who visited them, both the medical staff and the volunteers, as angels. It's hard to express just how touching it is to hear these things, and how it makes the work fun to do, knowing that the money generated will help others in the future." Finally, we have Jane Wallace. Jane has been volunteering with the Hospice Thrift Shop since 2007. She never considered it work, however. The friends she made with others in the shop, the pride in taking donations and turning them into attractive merchandise, and the joy of volunteering with her mother first and then her sister has made it something to look forward to each week. All 3 of them call themselves the Linen Ladies because they always tackle a literal mountain of sheets, towels, tablecloths, and comforters waiting to be sorted and put out in the store. Jane was raised to believe that giving back by helping others in whatever way presents itself is an obligation for those who are able to do so, and Hospice East Bay has been a large part of that for her. Again, thank you so much to our 15-year volunteers. And now I would like to introduce Nicole Kinnear to share about our 20-year volunteers.
Hi, and good afternoon. My name is Nicole Kinnear, and I'm the Director of Retail Operations. I wanted to start out by introducing one of our 20-year volunteers, Harriet Colman. Harriet Colman moved to the Bay Area from Centerville, Ohio in 1946, after her husband passed away. He was on hospice care, and when she retired, it felt right to volunteer for Hospice East Bay at the Walnut Creek Thrift Shop. Prior to retiring, Harriet was a stay-at-home mom and also taught adult education. Harriet enjoys working in the back room at the shop and sorting merchandise. In her personal life, she says, "Less stuff is more." I couldn't agree more. For example, when Harriet moved from Ohio, she gave most of the furniture and housewares to an organization that supports the working poor. She is also proud to have 2 wonderful great-grandchildren. Thank you, Harriet, for the 20 years that you have dedicated to Hospice at the East Bay thrift shops. And for our final 20-year awardee, Vilda Puya. Vilda has a master's in health administration and hopes to become a sonographer someday. However, she also has a love for fashion and all the shoes, purses, and accessories. When Vilda started volunteering, she was fairly young, and so other volunteers thought she was there to work off a speeding ticket. They kept asking, "How many hours do you have?" When she finally realized that they were asking, she had a laugh. Vilda loves to hike and travel and has been to Holland, Croatia, France, Italy, Australia, and Dubai, just to name a few. She loves working in the hospice shops because it's a way of giving back to the community, but at the same time, it provides her with a great emotional support. She says, "If I'm having a bad day, I'll go to the shop and it makes me happy." Vilda can pretty much do anything in the shop, including pricing and running the register, and I cannot tell you how many times she has saved the day. I want to say thank you, Vilda, and to all of our volunteers for the countless hours and effort that you have put in to make this organization so wonderful. Now it's time to have some fun. Our Weave host, Tori, will guide us through the game portion of our show, and then we'll come back together for a drawing and a few final words from Cindy.